Hi, my name is Amie McMillan. I'm a student at JTECH in the Automotive Technology program. I'm going to show you the different parts of a steering suspension system. So this system is part of a rack and pinion system. This is a rack, and here's the pinion. This yellow piece right here is what we call the sway bar. This is called a spindle, and this is part of the caliper assembly bracket. This is the upper ball joint, and this is part of the upper control arm, and these are shims, these little things right here, and here are the bushings. This is the lower control arm. This right here is an outer tie rod. This inner tie rod. Right here we have the spring assembly, and inside of the spring we have the shock, which goes up to here. The shock is right here. So here we have a parallelogram suspension system. This right here is the sway bar. We have the center link, the inner tie rod, the outer tie rod, and the adjustment sleeve. Right here we have the pitman arm, and over here we have the idler arm, and again we have the spring assembly and the shock. And back over here we have the steering box. So here we have a rear independent suspension system with a rear differential. So here we have the sway bar link. This right here is the sway bar. We have the rear differential. Over here we have the shock absorbers, the lower control arm, the upper control arm. We have the outer CV joint. This right here is the CV axle. This is the inner CV joint. And over here we have a brake drum assembly. Here we have another rear independent suspension system. Right here we have the upper control arm. We have the inner tie rod and the outer tie rod, which goes underneath here. We have the strut assembly and the spring assembly right here. Down here we have the sway bar, and on the other side and over here is the lateral link.